Where did the best players in the state of Georgia sign? That's what we're going to cover in this video. We've already done Florida. Now it's time to look at the state of Georgia. And let's get into it. At number 1, defensive lineman Elijah Griffin from Savannah Prep signs with the Dogs. Number 1 defensive lineman. Number 5 overall. He goes 6'4", 300 pounds. Just one of the most dynamic defensive linemen in this class, and he's staying home to play for the Dogs. At number 2, Isaiah Gibson. The number 1 edge in America, signs with Georgia. Now, he did make a quick commitment to USC in March. Georgia ends up landing him when he makes that second commitment. Michigan, they made a late push. I mean, some Michigan fans took a tweet from Isaiah Gibson to mean he's coming, but in the end, it's Georgia. The number 8 overall prospect, all Dogs since he committed on June 24th. At number 3, maybe one of the biggest surprises in the country, Justice Terry to Texas. The number 2 defensive lineman, number 9 overall. He was an early commitment for Georgia, flips his commitment to USC, and then decommits. And in the end, everybody thought he was going to end up at Georgia, well, except for a few people. And in the end, it's Texas. 6'4", almost 300 pounds, a major disruptor in the middle, and he's going to be a Longhorn. At number 4, we got linebacker Zayden Walker, the number 1 linebacker in America from Ellaville, Georgia. 6'2", 225, prototypical NFL frame. He commits to the Dogs on June 5th, and that was really the end of his recruitment. At number 5, Elias Williams, one of the most intriguing prospects on this list, signs with Georgia. Number 1 tight end, number 36 overall, just out of 5-star range. But the reason he's so intriguing is because of his size. Massive tight end that goes 6'7", 245 pounds. And, he had offers from everybody, as you can imagine. But in April, at the end of April, he said, I'm done with recruiting. I'm sticking with Georgia. And that was the end of it. We didn't hear from Elias Williams. He didn't take a visit. It was over. Dogs got a good one here. Number 6, quarterback Julian Lewis signed with Colorado. The former USC commitment is the number 6 ranked quarterback, number 39 overall from Carrollton, Georgia. The first commitment in that USC Trojan class, he was very patient as he waited more than 6 months for another commitment. But then in November, he decommitted. It was a crazy day. He announced his decommitment about an hour before Huson Longstreet announced he was flipping from A&M to the Trojans. So in the end, Julian Lewis finds a great fit with Colorado. He's going to come in, potentially start, or at least compete for a starting job in his first year out in Boulder. So we'll see how Julian Lewis does with Coach Prime. At number 7, interior offensive lineman Josh Petty. He signs with Georgia Tech, the number 3 interior offensive lineman in the country. This was a big battle originally between FSU, Georgia Tech. But then after Ohio State loses out on David Sanders, they made a run at Josh Petty. But Tech's able to hold on to the number 7 prospect in the state of Georgia. At number 8, we got safety Tay Harris. This is another win for Georgia Tech. Now, this one almost came full circle. He made an early commitment to Georgia. Then he commits to Clemson before the season starts. Flipped to Georgia Tech late in November. Thought maybe he would flip back to Georgia, but he stays in the state somewhere, and it's going to be at Georgia Tech. At number 9, we got Travis Smith to Tennessee. Number 10 ranked wide receiver in America, number 71 overall from the Atlanta area. Kind of reminds me of that Mike Matthews recruitment from a year before. Hopefully things pan out better than it did for Mike Matthews in his freshman year at Tennessee, but Travis Smith is a volunteer. Then at number 10, another surprising recruitment. CJ Wiley made an initial commitment to FSU. He picked FSU over LSU in Georgia. He's from Milton High School. Florida State tried to hold on, but that season they had, that's a tough hold for an out-of-state prospect. And in the end, CJ Wiley flips that commitment from FSU to Georgia. So the state of Georgia produced 54 blue-chip prospects in the 2025 cycle. All 54 are now signed with the college program. Georgia, Texas, Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, they each signed 3 or more 4 or 5-star prospects out of the Peach State, but the Bulldogs, they signed a whopping 18, while the Yellow Jackets, they landed 6. So you guys tell me, comment section below, who is your favorite player from the state of Georgia this cycle? Let me know. Comment section below.